right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. Welcome back. Good morning. We're gonna start off with some calming connections again. You know, blissful beaches. You got the sunrise or sunset in the background. The beautiful waves crashing up on the shoreline, and then you have the palm trees on the side there. Wow, look at that beautiful beach. Let me turn this down just a hair. Without further ado, man, we're gonna get right into it. Y'all hold tight. Let's get into it. Yes. I'm really, I got my robe on again this morning, but I had to turn my heater off. I'm upstairs in my office, and it's quite cold these days. But I think this weekend is gonna be a little bit warmer. I got my coffee. I got my bottle of water here. I already had a little bit of that. We're gonna get right into it, y'all. Oh boy. Okay, let me see. I gotta get my phone out of my pocket. I'm trying to eliminate all heat, but if I take this robe off, I'm gonna be too cold. So if I turn my heater back on, it's gonna be too loud. But this robe is gonna have to come off. Anyways, back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's big night. So far, 12 people have shown up. Most of them were uninvited people. Uninvited people? Let's just say we're people. All right. Yeah, you guys, it don't take long. This robe, I don't even know where this robe came from. This thing is I had this robe on for about 10 minutes. And I know inside my office it's maybe 60 degrees. It's not very warm at all because it's cold outside. And, anyways, I gotta take this thing off my body. The combination of the robe and the coffee and this little heater that was blowing on me. Now I may have to put it back on here in a little bit, but right now we're just gonna lay that right there on the floor. Okay. I'm gonna take me another sip of water, and we're fixing to go and get right into it, y'all. We're fixing to go get right into it. Let's get another cup of water, cup of coffee here, a sip of coffee. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's. I keep saying Sue's. For Suge's big night. So far, 12 people had shown up. Most of them were people from the neighborhood who'd heard about the get-together and decided that free food was a lot better than having to cook or eat out that night. How many people? How many people I said now? 12, let's see. So far 12 or so. 12, let's 12, that's a lot of people. Oh man, that's a lot of people. So far 12 people. Let me say this before I go on. I think I'm at a point to where I'm writing this book with a camera in my face. More so for me than anything. I say so often on these videos that look, they're gonna blow up. They're gonna, the book is gonna be, and I stand by that. But I'm realizing now that putting the pressure on me. Another thing is, I'll get back to putting the pressure on me and all that stuff. But another thing is this: I try to get upstairs right now. 7:12, 12 minutes after 7 a.m. December 5th, 2024. I put pressure on myself because I was in the military and I was in Job Corps before the military, and time is everything. You got to be in formation 15 minutes prior. You got to be we have a meeting at this time. You got to be there at this time or earlier. You can't be late. Because being late is that's like horrible in the military. Showing up late to a PT formation. I remember, I was it got so bad. So I remember one time my best friend, shout out to my best friend, man, retired Sergeant First Class Nathan Edwards. I remember it was a Saturday morning. We had been out that Friday. We used to go out every weekend. I mean, every weekend. Nobody stayed in the barracks on the weekend. You know what I mean? We would go out and drink, have fun. And we'd probably come back in like 10 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes in Germany, you could like literally get back to your room at 10 o'clock in the morning. The sun is coming up. And I remember like I think I was going to the shop or whatever to buy some breakfast. I don't know, but I saw Edwards running down the street in his PTs. He was running down the street. I'm like, what in the hell is this guy doing? So I stop him. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm going to PT. What are you doing? Why are you not dressed? I was like, it's Saturday, dude. What are you doing? He's like, what? It's Saturday. He's looking at his watch. Oh my God, it's Saturday. Oh. And that was the funniest thing, man. But, punctuality is everything. And I totally forgot what I said I was going to get back to. Maybe it'll come back to me. But anyways, let's get back to the story. Back at home, Mrs. Wallace, Sonia, and Lily were all in the garage getting things prepared for Suge's big night. So far, 12 people had shown up. Most of them were people from the neighborhood who'd heard about the get-together and decided that free food was a lot better than having to cook or eat out. That night. Colorful balloons and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the one-car garage and along the front of the home at a modest volume. Okay. Alright. Like I said, I didn't get any sleep last night, y'all. And I'm reading this for the first time in years, so. Yeah, so I just had to get some more go-go gadget juice. I'm gonna get some more, I'm watching Bel Air right now. I don't know why I thought that show was going to be corny, but me and my wife started watching that show, the series on Peacock, Bel Air. It's a sort of a how would you say this? They did the Fresh Prince of Bel Air over, but they did it from a dramatical, is that a word? They did it from a more drama. It's not a comedy. It's a drama. And the writing is impeccable. I may do a reaction video after I do this video. The writing is impeccable, and I believe it's helping me write. It's helping me think. Part of what I was saying earlier, I think what I was, one of the things I was getting at earlier is that reading out loud with this camera in my face it's helping me get over certain fears. It's helping me break through certain barriers. And I'll get back to the story in a second, y'all. Sometimes, you just got to talk. I'm from South Carolina. In terms of slavery, we're not too far out of slavery. I come from an uneducated, family. And when I say uneducated, I didn't graduate high school. As a matter of fact, out of my household, only one person, two people. I grew up in a house with my two brothers, my little sister, my mom and my dad. And out of all 6 of us, 2 people graduated high school. That's my mom and my sister. My dad, I won't get into details, but 2 people graduated high school. I went on to get my GED later on. As a matter of fact, I got my GED when I was still 18, I think. I was 19. But I got it the same year I was supposed to graduate high school. That was a priority to me. I said I may not get my high school diploma with the rest of my classmates that I started off school, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, but I will get it in 1995. That's the year I was supposed to graduate high school. So I got my GED from Schenck Job Corps, North Carolina, December 12th. So, what? 7 more days, right? Yeah, 7 more days. It'll be anniversary, I guess. Today's the 5th. I got my GED December 12th, 1995. And I had to, I got it just in the nick of time. I got it the same year I was supposed to graduate high school. And it wasn't hard. I'm not a stupid person. I do have learning disabilities with an S, plural. ADHD, that's for sure. But I compensate. Oh boy, this is a rough one to start off this morning. I didn't get any sleep though. You gotta excuse me when I go back and this is like a journal. Making these videos, this is a journal. Let's get back to it though. Colorful balloons and ribbons were strung up in various locations of the one-car garage and along the front of the home. At a modest volume, old school R&B was heard playing from the Bluetooth speakers, from the flashing, let's say that. From the flashing neon lights of 2 Bluetooth speakers. We'll fix that later. Those lights may come in handy later. Though the speakers were capable of blaring bass throughout the neighborhood, Edna decided not to turn. Is her name Edna? I think it is Edna. Edna decided not to turn the volume up too loud out of worry that some of the neighbors, being the type that would easily use the music as an excuse to call the police. No, I'm not doing that. I already see that this section needs some fixing. Edna decided not to turn the volume up too loud out of worry that some of the neighbors would complain. Just complain. You don't call cops and all this. Maybe they would, but I don't want to invoke police. Despite the fact tunes. That's tones. That's not supposed to be tunes. Like Tired of Being Alone by Al Green and Spanish Harlem by Aretha Franklin were effortlessly priming the scene for good vibes to come. All right. Well, I'm reading through this for the first time, y'all. So don't fret. And I noticed that my camera is freezing a lot. Hopefully, it won't affect the music and the voice. It's time for a new computer, y'all. It's time for a new software, and I gotta do it. don't know when, but it'll be soon. Yeah, sooner than later. The food, on the other hand, could be smelt a mile away. It's a lot of work I need to do on this already, I can tell. I must have gotten a little bit, I don't know why. It's a little bit, seems a little bit lazy here, but that's okay. The food, on the other hand, could be smelt a mile away. There was no way to turn down the volume on smell. But if there were, Edna, being the type that she was, would have eagerly turned up the volume and perhaps used an industrial-sized fan to blow the smell in the direction of all of those who thought they were too good to be a part of the afternoon festivities. I don't know about all that, Edna. Is Edna some kind of vindictive, person there? It was Suge's birthday, and for those who knew the man and had any good sense, knew. See, this right here is a prime example of my mood at the time. I must have been in not the best mood when I wrote this, because it's coming off as negative, and that's you can have a little negativity in a story, but you don't want to make this thing. I don't want those vibes to carry out or transmit to the reader. All right, so it's been almost 17 minutes. We're gonna keep on trucking. It was Suge's birthday, and for those who knew the man and had any good sense knew that being there that night would have been the perfect way to pay homage to the legend. The party had been the Wallace's way of paying tribute. It was the least they could do. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying here. Well, there were so many people who knew the hero behind the humble face. Turning 80 years old was a very important milestone for Mr. John Sugar Ray. What? Sugar Ray? Sugar Ray. Let's just say John Suge White. You don't got Sugar Ray, come on. Mr. John Suge White. Oh, why is that in? Somebody spoke that? Somebody said Suge all of a sudden? John Suge White. And the people of Green Pond. On fold-out tables that stood against the garage wall were silver chafers with burners underneath, allowing steam to keep everything warm. The display of food looked nothing less than a feast fit for a king. There were dishes of all sorts neatly placed in bowls and platters earlier in the day, and somehow while preparing the lovely spread, Edna and Sonia had done an immaculate cleaning on the area. There wasn't a speck of dust or a cobweb anywhere to be found. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption according to Edna, was a dish of creamy macaroni casserole. I gotta say creamy macaroni casserole because people don't, here in South Carolina, it's just macaroni, yo. There's just something going on about a roux now. You gotta have a roux for the mac and cheese and all this stuff. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you come to Dorchester, South Carolina, the queen of macaroni herself is my mother, Ms. Louise Mays. Now, she's been somewhat retired for years now, so the queen is going to be my sister, Mrs. Shayna Waymer. And in training her apprentice is her daughter, my niece, my goddaughter, Ms. Tiana Angelica. Okay? So, and we call it macaroni. It ain't no macaroni. It ain't no mac and cheese. It ain't no roux. But for the sake of other people across the world and whoever might stumble upon this video and this book when it's in the book form, I gotta say macaroni casserole because people don't understand just macaroni. Macaroni, people would say, oh, it's the macaroni elbows, the little macaroni noodles. No, macaroni is that dish that comes out of the oven, and you take your fork once you get that thing on your plate, and you dig in there, and it's cheese dripping, and it's dripping butter, and you can see the noodles, and you can see little pieces of egg, just cooked perfectly. Everything is wet and nice and hot. And you put that thing in your throat. You put that thing in your throat. You might chew a couple times. It's hot. But when that thing go down your throat and hit this part of your chest and trickleate down, it trizolates. It trizolates. Shout out to Art Fennell and Jism and Den Finn and all them boys over there, country style. You know what I mean? When that thing trizolates down inside of your stomach, shout out to Lizard too, man. Oh boy. Oh my God. Jesus have mercy. Anyway, so we're going to keep it moving now. Out on display, certainly not for early consumption, according to Edna, was a dish of creamy macaroni casserole, barbecue ribs, fried chicken, collard greens, potato salad, dirty rice, corn on the cob, deviled eggs, cornbread, apple pie, and lemon meringue pie. Let me see, how do you spell lemon meringue? Lemon meringue pie. Okay. M-E-R Ringo. Okay. Lemon meringue pie. What is a meringue anyway? Is it the internet? Yeah, it's the computer, y'all. Y'all I gotta. Oh my God! So, meringue is a type of dessert or candy of French origin, traditionally made from whipped egg whites and sugar, and occasionally an acidic ingredient such as lemon, vinegar, or okay. So that's it. That's the right spelling. Alright, y'all, so it's been 23 minutes. With as many as 50 people expected to show, some bringing more food, there would be several plates to take back home after the festivities. Though the sun was now setting on the horizon outside the garage, away from the music, the sound of ruffling oak leaves could be heard as a cool October breeze was coming in. Sonia, bring back some cornmeal. I believe I see your brother and daddy walking up with the fish. Some ways down the freshly scraped dirt road, Edna saw her husband and son carrying the fishing rods and buckets. Watching her boy struggle with the heavy bucket, she shook her head with a grin. You want to rest? You want to rest again? Asked Henry, knowing good and well the boy wouldn't dare stop to take a breath this close to home. Someone from the party might see him and think that he was weak. Go ahead, stop, a voice came from within. Nobody's looking. Just put it down a few seconds and stop. Son, did you hear me? You can stop whenever you feel like it. With those words, his right arm began feeling like it was being pulled from its socket. The boy started questioning his own strength. Surely he could do this. They'd stopped 3 times already. The time to rest was then, not now. He heard his father, but feared opening his mouth to lie Truth be told, he was in pain, extreme pain, but the wrong words could stop him in his tracks. As he continued on, ignoring the pain, the way an injured athlete would when the championship game was on the line, it seemed the closer they got, the heavier the bucket grew. Finally, he managed to swing the container in the front of him to his left hand, but not without splashing pond water all over his shoes. Just put it down. You don't have nothing to prove. Besides, nobody's looking, said the voice. Jake, his father called. Huh? The boy answered. Did you hear a word I said? Oh, I'm fine. I can make it, Jacob replied with agitation. You sure? Asked his father. Yeah, I'm stronger than you think. I'm stronger than you think, he said as the burn in his right arm traveled up to his shoulder across his chest to his left. I see we have a crowd already, said Henry as he approached the garage. His eyes were fixated on a man he hadn't seen in over 2 years. Yeah, said Jacob, he too glaring at the familiar face. Hey, is that? Looks like it is. Looks like it. Looks like it is. Now I'm getting cold again, said Henry. Father and son were surprised to see seated on a wooden picnic table that had been placed in the middle of the garage, Lily and her biological father, Frederick Sr. Upon entering the space, along with a long sigh of relief after putting down the heavy bucket, a feeling of pride flooded little Jacob's body. With all eyes on him carrying the bucket, a gratified smile appeared on his face. He'd made it. Well, goodness, said Henry as he put down his own bucket. With a surprised glare, his eyes were locked on a familiar face. It was his childhood friend, Frederick White. Just look at what the wind blew in, the man laughed. Let's see, Henry laughed. Yeah, I guess you can say that, replied Fred. Now standing, while straddling the bench, Fred and Henry shook hands and embraced the way two black men do as a sign of respect and admiration. Next, it was Jacob's turn to greet the near stranger. Though shaking hands with Mr. Fred had caused the boy more pain, he didn't show it. As the two men started catching up on happenings in their lives, Fred not being completely honest, Henry assumed as much by the avoidance of eye contact. Lily assumed the normal position of harassing Jacob. Alright, so we're going to stop it right there. We're going to put it in the red right there. It's been 28 minutes, 29 minutes. We're going to put it in the red right there, y'all. I apologize ahead of time. This was a shaky read, but that's okay. We made some leeway. Hell, we made good leeway here. We're going to save it right there. Start it back up tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Appreciate y'all being patient. Till next time, this is Anthony L. Kelly. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be safe. This is the holidays, so you gotta be safe. Till next time, I'm out.